Hello everybody and welcome to Purple Table Tarot. My name is Robin and I will be doing an all signs reading this evening. I'm pretty excited. We are going to basically be doing a you and them reading, and I will just go through all the zodiac signs, Aries to Pisces, and we will get started. But first I will cleanse the space and the cards with some Palo Santo here and get it all lit for you. So yeah, I'm trying out this new little setup just to see how it goes, right? I was gonna go live, but I've never gone live before, and so I have to wait like 24 hours or something like that. But I figured this could be really fun. I could just like record it, and they're not going to be really long. Each reading is not going to be really long. Okay. Move that guy a little bit closer. There we go. Okay. I think what I'll do is also cut this up into chapters, and so you guys can just totally skip the whole beginning part where I'm wiping away the ashes. Okay, alright, so this is for Pisces. So in this you and them, I'm going to be just pulling 5 cards for you, 5 cards for your person, and then 5 cards for the connection. And I'll be reading them, you individually, and then together, kind of the response. You'll see how it goes. And then in the end, since I'm doing all signs, I'll go ahead and just pull one Power of Surrender card at the end, okay? And you guys, be sure to like the video. I thank you in advance for doing that. And go ahead and comment and tell me how you like this new setup, if you like this angle, what else? Yeah, just any feedback on it would be great. Okay. Okay, so this is for Aries. Aries and their person. I invite Spirit in at this time to provide. I'm requesting respectfully, with so much grace and gratitude, a message for all 12 signs this evening, beginning with Aries, for them and the person on their mind. This one is for Aries. I'm going to go ahead and take that one. Nice. So first out we have the Lovers, so that's a really good start. The Fool, 2 of Pentacles, 8 of Wands, and the 5 of Swords. And be sure to just take what resonates, leave what does not, okay? And the other thing is that keep in mind that the roles can be reversed here. Okay, and then bottom of the deck energy, we have Knight of Pentacles. So this could be something, this could be someone that hasn't made their way to you just yet, okay? But we'll get into it. So for you, the Lovers, the Fool, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, and the Five of Swords. So you, Aries, are definitely looking for a brand new beginning in love, for sure. However, there's a little bit of indecision, could be indecision, or it could also be like you could be juggling two people right now, or you could be just really busy in your very practical everyday life. So it can be hard to, like, you know, you might really want a lover and everything like that, and a new relationship and a new beginning, but it can be hard because you might have a lot of things going on right now. But with the Eight of Wands, it's like you could meet somebody when you're traveling, or you could be, you know, receiving a lot of messages right now. So perhaps you're, you know, in online dating, trying to put yourself out there and getting a lot of messages, fielding a lot, and being like, okay, do I like this person or that person? And, you know, I think that the Two of Pentacles really speaks to like this kind of dating venture that you're trying, okay? And then the Five of Swords, that'll be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to be clarifying, but the Five of Swords is typically like a self-sabotage card on some level. And, you know, some sort of dishonesty could be with yourself or with other people. There can also be conflict between some folks and you right now. So this is interesting. Okay, for your person, we have the Seven of Pentacles, Three of Wands, Knight of Cups, the Sun, and the King of Wands. Okay. So we have two people here, right? There's someone that's offering small gestures, and then there's somebody who's like very passionate, very, it seems a bit, I don't know if they're a bit more ready for a long-term relationship or a commitment, but they're definitely a leader in some way. So they could be somebody who's initiating with you, all right? Whereas this Knight of Cups, they're coming in and they're initiating with you as well, and they're showing a small gesture. So, but they're still interested in romantic and everything. So these are the energies that are coming toward you. I feel like whoever's coming towards you has been like also looking for love and really investing and wanting to invest in a relationship, in a connection, but they haven't really been seeing the results that they've wanted to see yet either, okay? And so, you know, they've been waiting for their new beginning as well. And so waiting for their new beginning, waiting to, you know, see somebody who is worth offering their cup to. All right. Now, in between the King of Wands and the Sun, and in between the King of Wands and the Knight of Cups, we have the Sun. So it's like both of these people are really showing themselves right now, and they have a lot of happiness, a lot of joy to offer. And I think that you're getting messages from both of these people, and like these messages are making you happy. And, you know, I feel like with the two energies here, that this is, you know, the Five of Swords could be you being like, okay, well, which do I choose? Same with the Two of Pentacles, right? So this will be interesting. So let's go ahead, and what I'm going to do is put a card on top of each, because the way that they're laid out is 5 of them, and then 5 cards on top, 5 cards on the bottom, and then I put a card in between each one, okay? And so, like, I read your energy, their energy, and also kind of read the energies together, all right? So let's go ahead and look. The Lovers and the Seven of Pentacles. So you could also have been feeling in the same boat with this person, with these folks who are coming towards you, that, you know, your investment, it's like you're in it to win it, but you haven't been seeing the results you've been wanting to see just yet. But like your intentions are really good here. And it looks like as you go along, perhaps this season, because the Sun is here, so that's Leo, and we just entered Leo season, you might have a choice in love here, okay? That's exciting. Okay. I'm such a goober. All right, let's do this. Ooh, yes. Okay. So, with the what is clarifying the 7 of Pentacles and the Lover's energy is the 10 of Cups. So it's like that's the best of intentions, right? It's like both of you are really wanting this 10 of Cups, this long-term wish fulfillment, beautiful community, partnership energy. You both could even have, long-term family on your mind, things like that. Either you or this person or both of you could also have families of your own that are very large, and you're wanting to incorporate each other into each other's families and community, friends, all those things. Okay. And so then with the new beginning and the waiting on this new beginning, there has been some inner conflict with the 5 of Wands, right? Like there could even be conflict internally on how to go about doing this. There could be some frustration here. Another thing is that, maybe you're consulting with friends and family and they have been as well, like, and not, maybe getting a lot of different opinions on how to go about getting a relationship, finding a relationship, and being and staying in one, okay? But the thing, what I get the most from this energy is that, like, there's frustration in the waiting. There's frustration in the waiting because the desire is so strong to start anew and to start a brand new cycle that is like, you really want this in your life, okay? Okay, and so then with the 2 of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, it's like there are these small gestures coming towards you, and it's like, which do I choose? And then that is even further clarified by the 7 of Cups. So with a lot of options, there could be a lot of confusion, what do I pursue, and so on and so forth. So I think the invitation here is to also trust your intuition. And, I guess it's just hard when you're spoiled for choice, right? But I think that when the person comes your way, that you're going to know it. And I do think that your person that's coming towards you is also going to know it too. It's going to be something that's felt, okay? It's going to be something that's felt because what we have here between the 8 of Wands and the Sun is the King of Cups. So this is beautiful energy. Like, this is somebody who's emotionally mature. They are very loving, very compassionate, just like, stay calm in a crisis. Could be a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, any of those water signs. I mean, and what's funny is that, like, the other folks that are coming towards you as well, like the Knight of Cups and the King of Wands, like that, they can be very well-intentioned and sweet. And then they could also be like, there could be somebody here who's like really hot and like maybe wants to date a lot of people, right? Who knows? But it definitely looks like you're spoiled for choice here because we have, a knight and 2 kings. And then we have finally, in between the 5 of Swords and the King of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups. So, yeah, and the Queen of Cups, the way that it's set out right here, is that they were like this, the way I'm seeing them, right? And so it's like, and this is a match, typically match. And so that's why I said when you meet this person, it's going to be a felt experience. Like, it's going to be like, oh, okay, like, I think this is the person. So overall, you and your person, whoever it is that you're going to be coming in contact with, are both on the same page as far as like wanting to find the one, wanting to find the person that you're going to be with for a while, and all the family stuff, and just really integrate and finding happiness and joy and really wanting that, all right? And I think that you're both on the same page with, like, right now. I don't think that this connection has not come in yet. It's on its way. It's on its way, for sure. And you both will know it when you meet each other and you see it. And I think that prior to that, you're probably going to be dating a few people and, you know, kind of sorting out messages and weighing your options and just being spoiled for choice. So I think the invitation here is that, you know, because this is on the bottom of the deck, was the Ten of Wands. You don't have to be all things to all people. Just be yourself, okay? And when if it starts to become laborious and kind of a pain in the ass to, like, juggle all these people, then just take a little break, because you can always go back to, you know, trying and dating and la-di-da, okay? So overall, I think that you're going to have a lot of fun this summer, and you're going to be faced with choices. But in the finish, I feel like you're going to find your King or Queen of Cups. I think that's going to be your person. Okay, that's what I have for you, Aries, and I'm going to move on to Taurus. Oh, but first I'll go ahead and I'll give you a surrender card. The power of surrender. Surrender to setting limits. Very good. I like that, to go with the Ten of Wands there. It's like, if it gets to be too much, then just be like, okay, I'm taking a break for like a week or whatever. You know, surrender to setting limits. It is healthy to set boundaries in relationships. Practice expressing your needs, and remember that no is a complete sentence. Okay? So remember that when you go out and you're, you know, meeting new people and everything like that, it's all right. If you don't feel the connection with whoever it is, then you could just be like, you know, look, you're a really nice person, but I'm really not feeling it, but thank you, you know, for meeting me, stuff like that, and it's okay. All right, so that's what I have for you, Aries, and now I'm going to move on to Taurus. Okay. This will be really interesting, because whenever I put the cards back together, I always kind of put them in individually, but that's not going to work doing it that slowly. Oops. Okay, so this is for Taurus. And if it's too loud on the microphone with the shuffling, then my apologies, and just like turn down the volume. Okay. Two of Cups wanted to pop out. Okay, Taurus, so you and your person are going through a breakup right now. Okay, for you we have the Five of Swords, the Emperor, Queen of Cups, Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, and for your person we have the Three of Swords, Eight of Swords, Queen of Pentacles, Ten of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. And at the bottom of the deck energy, we have the Two of Cups. That's what wanted to pop out. So this is a relationship underneath that 10 of Wands. Things have been hard. Okay. Okay. So there's been conflict. There's perhaps some control issues here. But Taurus, it's like, I see that, and take these energies, if they flip-flop, then they flip-flop, okay? So, you do have a lot of love and compassion for the situation, and you also have a lot of love and compassion for yourself and for this person. So much so that you have come to a place where you're like, this isn't working. This isn't working and it needs to be done, and I'm so sorry, but this is like, it's run its course, right? It's run its course, and it's very sad, I feel like, for both of you. Because when we're with people, it's like there can be all this hope and, all these thoughts about the future and like what it's going to be. And, for a good long bit, it was probably beautiful. But then things shift, things change with people. And sometimes we can work those things out. And other times it's just you have to accept where the relationship is, okay? And that's what this is looking like. It did take a lot of work for you. I feel like you really thought long and hard about all of this. You tried to, set new structure and new boundaries around how can we work this out, because there's just so much fighting and conflict here, right? And I feel like you really you left no stone unturned when it came to trying to make this work, I feel like. But now you're like, okay, I have to just like step away and focus on what I can control and what I am really good at, and like just focus on my work and, get myself in a stable place. I think that that's a really healthy thing to do, and I think a lot of us do that. A lot of people do that, when they go through a very emotional experience, it's like, and things have really shaken up in one area, it's like, okay, well, if I could I'll focus on this other area, so then it's like there's a sense of mastery and control, and like, okay, I can't control this like emotional shitstorm that's happening, but I can, complete my tasks at work, 1, 2, 3, like my tangible things, okay? So for your person, they're very heartbroken, and they're really in their head about this. They're actually doing a really good job at self-care. They're taking care of themselves quite well. With the Queen of Pentacles here, and that could be you, right? You could represent the Queen of Pentacles being a Taurus, being an earth sign. And, they're really in their head about it, feeling really sad. There's the ending was not abrupt. It could have been, this is a kind of ending that was like a long time coming, okay? And with all of these energies, they are feeling very defended and very guarded right now. So there really isn't any, getting through to them right now. And the other thing is, you don't have to be the person to, and you may probably not even be thinking this way, but this is just something that came through for me right now. You don't have to be the person to comfort them through this breakup, okay? You're not that person. And so, there is a guarded energy on their part, and rightfully so. They're very hurt. The Nine of Wands would also suggest that perhaps they would still be willing to fight for this. Because, they are very heartbroken and are in their head. I feel like they're in their head about how they can try to work to get it back in some way. But with the 10 of Swords here, right underneath the 8 of Cups, it's like, I feel like that they really know that it's done, and they're coming to grips with that. And what's interesting is that I'm looking at this right here. It's like here you are continuing to work and try to like maintain your life, and then they're underneath you like that, and like look at that side eye. It's really hard to see, but like it would appear that this figure is looking up and is like so they might be feeling a bit pissed off at you right now, and they're like, "Ooh, how can Taurus just go on with their life, you know?" Anyways, so let's go ahead and look at some more energies. So, but this is the thing. It was too. There was too much conflict, too much heartache. There could have been some deception here. Some deception, some controlling behavior. Perhaps some of you guys saw something online and the tower came down. There could have been some holding back in the meanwhile, right? Okay. There could have even actually, I will say this, there could have been a third party, because what I'm seeing is the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles, right? And then I have a King of Wands. So let me just go. So for the Five of Swords and the Three of Swords, I have the Page of Swords. Then we have the Tower, Strength, King of Wands, King of Cups. And that's another reason why I think perhaps there's a third party situation, King of Wands, King of Cups, you know. So I would wonder, and then at the bottom of the deck we have the Hierophant. Okay. And that's your energy, Taurus. That's your major. That's your major. You guys very well could have gone to a therapist. You could have consulted somebody to help you get some clarity on this situation, either together or individually. But ultimately, a conversation needed to be had, like a real conversation, and one that would have made you both feel very vulnerable. You know, because when these conversations would start, even in any kind of small gesture to like initiate it, it would just lead to a conflict. It would lead to a fight. And, you know, the more somebody was trying to control the situation, the more somebody was just like not, they weren't in their feelings about it. Like either one or both of you could not get in your feelings because there was too much like in your head energy. And the thing is that this was a long time coming because, you know, like I said earlier, death by 1,000 cuts. So this was a long time coming, right? And if nobody was really stepping up and having these conversations, and like maybe one or both of you were in your head or having some controlling kind of feelings around it, that's when the Tower comes in, right? So it was like, okay, this needed to come down. And between the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, we have Strength. So there could have been a lot of holding back in some areas with saying what you really wanted to say, for either one or both of you. This taming of the base desires and the higher knowing, just trying to find that middle way. And kind of at its core, you know, the strength, you both are going to need a lot of strength to get through this whole situation. It takes a lot of strength to work it out, and it also takes a lot of strength to like deal with it once the Tower comes down, you know. This is gnarly. Like this whole read is really, this is hard, and this has been going on for a while, you know. And it's just come to a head. It's come to a head here. You guys could have started having problems in like Scorpio season, perhaps, and then it's like now in Leo season. But, you know, walking away, you could have met somebody else because it's like, or perhaps you're walking away from a fire sign, because we have the King of Wands on top of the Ten of Swords and the Eight of Cups. So, you know, you could have been dealing with a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. We have the Aries card here as well, the Major. And then, you know, yeah, so either you're walking away from that person or you're walking toward another person, because I see like the King of Wands here, but then also I see a King of Cups. So with the King of Cups, there's emotional maturity. So essentially the energies that are here, if they're not people per se, because there's 4 different people here, but these could also be energies, okay? So, you know, there's a lot of like, I feel like you were the one that took the lead in this, in ending this relationship, Taurus. I could be wrong, but that's what's coming. That's what it feels like to me. And I feel like with the King of Wands, like they're the ones that really take the lead in situations. And, you know, and doing so right now in this time, because I feel like your person is guarded, like that's kind of the outcome positions, like your person's in a guarded space, wounded, bummed, pissed, all the things. You're just trying to frickin' focus on work and your tangibles and what you can control. And then there's emotional maturity with the King of Cups on top of both of those things. So ultimately, what that says to me is that it took a lot of emotional maturity to really to finally face this end, to finally face this ending of this relationship. Yeah. And I feel like, Taurus, I feel like this energy's been with you for a while, because it's saying, it's like I feel like that theme has come out in the Taurus reads. Okay. So that's what I have for the tarot portion. I'm going to go on ahead and pick a surrender card for you, okay? I'm very sorry, this is a really hard one. But it looks like ultimately that, like, you know that this is best, and it's like it's been a long time coming here. Surrender the habit of people pleasing. Speak your needs and be true to yourself. Focus on your own happiness instead of always trying to make everyone else happy. So yeah, maybe you were staying in this relationship because you knew it would just like be so, you know, no one ever wants to walk toward the stuff, you know, but at the end of the day, if you're really unhappy, you got to do what you got to do. You know, life's too short. And plus, I don't know, like, I also feel like it's an act of love to release someone if you are not in love with them anymore, or if it's just like way too conflictual and you guys have tried, and just all the stuff that's with relationships, right? I feel like it's an act of love to finally let go and to release that person for their own good, because, and for like you, it's an act of love for yourself, but it's an act of love for the other person as well, to like honestly come to the table and be like, look, we've really tried, we had a really good run, you know, and I did, and you'll always hold a special place in my heart, but we're just in 2 different places now in our life, and we just have to live in alignment with that truth, you know, so that both of you could then go find happiness somewhere else. Even if it's just by yourself or whatever, you know. At least for a little while, or whatever makes you happy. Because it's like, it can't be good to like be with someone out of habit. It's not fair to you and it's not fair to them, you know. So anyways, that was your reading, Taurus. Now I'm going to move on. I'm sending you so much love and healing energies, and you'll get through this most definitely. I feel like I'm gonna move this a little bit like that. Maybe that's better. Anyway, okay, so Aries, Taurus, Gemini. Oh my god. I'm like all clumsy with the cards. Okay. Okay, so this one is for Gemini. Okay, this is for Gemini. I'm gonna go ahead and dang. You got 3 major arcana straight out the gate. Whoa, man. Okay. Holy shit. Okay. There are so many majors in this. 10 cards. 10 cards. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 majors in a 10 card spread. That's huge. So this is huge, Gemini. Whatever this is that you're going through and this process, and I'll go ahead and get into it, it's big. And then you have the 9 of Cups on the bottom. Okay. Okay, so you have the Star, the High Priestess, Empress, Page of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. Okay. So immediately for me, what I see is, okay, you're like definitely the 9 of Pentacles here. Okay. You're totally grooving in your own singlehood. You want for nothing, right? Like you got life on lock right now. It's good. And you are in the flow. You're trusting your intuition. You've been healing. You're following your hopes and dreams. You're in the middle of just like moving towards all the things that are I just feel like with the Empress here, right in the middle, that you are in a state of flow right now, which is so, like, it's so rich and it's so good, and you're fully trusting your intuition. I feel like you have big plans, but you're not talking a lot about it. Like, you have a vision for the future, you have goals and dreams and all the things, and you are in a state of flow and moving towards that, all of that stuff. Like, you're unstoppable right now. You have so much amazing energy. It's just keep doing what you're doing completely. And so then with the Page of Cups, I feel like just what I was going to say straight away was anybody that comes towards you with some very small gesture, I just feel like you will be able to see through whatever offers come your way. Okay? You will be able to see through any kind of anything that comes your way on an emotional level, and you'll be able to see, and not even, and just it won't even be like a thought. It'll just be like an inner knowing straight away. That's like, yeah, no. You know, yeah, no. It's not enough. Whatever it is. And it's sweet. That's very nice, gestures are very nice. But I just feel like you're just on a completely different plane than whatever might be, coming toward you. If it's something small, you'll know it you'll feel it. And so the thing is, there's this tower that's underneath the stars. So I feel like perhaps you and your person, like there was a tower moment between you guys, and you are healing from that. Okay? An Ace of Pentacles underneath the High Priestess. I feel like, okay, so I'll just read this side here. So it's the Tower, Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, Judgment, and the Sun. So that whoever walked away, it was a blessing in disguise. It hurt, or maybe it didn't hurt all that much, but I mean, it had to have hurt on some level because of the healing, that star energy, the healing energy that you've been in. And you could have very well, done so much reflection on this and really growing from this and understanding on a very spiritual and emotional level, like how this relationship played out for you, and what was to be learned here. There's something about this experience that really, really I just feel like you really learned a lot from this experience, especially if it was anything that was like a pattern. And I feel like if this was some sort of pattern, like a different person, but the same old kind of bullshit, that this is the last person that you're ever gonna have that with. Like you're like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go through this kind of shit again, whatever this was. And so I feel like within your healing journey that you really plumbed the depths of your own psyche and emotions, because the High Priestess is the gatekeeper, to our soul work. And with that, you've just been doing such amazing work and really tapping into your creativity. And then you're in a state of flow, right? And you're sitting in a really good spot in your singlehood, and you got good things going on. But that's just it. It was through this experience where you were able to be in the spot where you are right now, and you could very well still be healing, right? And that's fine too. You could be completely in touch with your creativity and in the flow and be healing at the same time. Like there's they're not mutually exclusive. It's all in the same, it's all in the soup. So I feel like with, this person, this tower moment came in, they went to, they wanted to plant a new seed somewhere else. Some other opportunity came. They could have ended up leaving to go take a job somewhere. That could have been it too. And they made a judgment call. They made a life-changing decision to walk away from this relationship in order to pursue some sort of new tangible opportunity. Okay? So they could have moved. They could have, changed, like moved away for a job, or maybe it's like they had to give up the relationship because they wanted to start a new business, whatever it was like the tangibles took them away from this relationship. And it's a blessing in disguise for you, because there is sun at the end here. So it's like, yeah, they made the decision that was going to make them happy, and that's very hard to hear, but I feel like it didn't make you happy in the immediate, but it ended up, it's like I said, a blessing in disguise. And right now you are in this energy trying to figure out, it's like the camera's all weird and backwards, really trying out things that have made you happy in the past, right? And maybe going out dancing, having a dinner party. You're like trying to connect with your old friends, keeping things gregarious. Like I said, yeah, connect with old friends. I think that that's really good. And right now I also feel like, this is fated. This experience was fated, okay? It was meant to happen. It was a part of the wheel of karma. And I feel like, and that that this was there was something very karmic about this connection that helped you learn something that was very much a part of your life and a part of your personhood, okay? And that you're going to be taking with you into the future. And then anything else that comes along, you'll know it. You'll be able to recognize it right away on whether or not it's going to be a recapitulation of this kind of thing, or if it's going to be good. I also feel that with the Page of Cups, you could be in a space where you're just starting to also come up for air a little bit. That could be a part of it as well with the page. Blessing in disguise. 10 of Cups. Over the Tower and the Star. Yep. The Sun is not only a happy card, but it's also a card of illumination. Okay? So here's some more information. So with the Tower, like I said, it was a blessing in disguise, because now you have the 10 of Cups on top of that when it comes to your healing. Okay? 10 of Cups. That's good. It's like, yeah, you're healing and you know what your 10 of Cups is going to look like, and the 10 of Cups is on its way. You're just there's no other direction than to be moving towards that. Okay? With the High Priestess and the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, the new opportunity came along for, this person, and they found themselves in beginner energy. They're like, okay, it's a brand new beginning of some kind. The pages to me are like the fools of the suit. And so there was a new beginning here, right? It's like they're going to go see what the whole fuss was about with the new tangible. And with the walking away from the Empress, okay, there's the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is on top of the Eight of Cups and the Empress. So that gives me a sense that this person or whoever walked away, I think they might be feeling a little bit of regret about that. You felt pain and they felt regret. So there's over the Judgment and the Page of Cups, there's the King of Cups. And we are Venus retrograde right now. So the feeling that I get from that is that there could be, this person could, because Judgment is also a resurrection card. So this person might try to come back and bring their A game, bring their emotional A game, okay? Over this small gesture, right? Like page energy coming in with a small gesture of love. But they could be making a decision that, with this King of Cups, that they're gonna step up on an emotional level when it comes to this relationship. Okay, so with over the Nine of Pentacles, which is you, and the Sun, we have the Page of Wands. So there's a new inspiration here, right? There's a new inspiration here. So you could be going and trying something new. There could be a new spark between you and this person, but I don't know, I can't say. But with the Page of Wands, I just feel like there's some new action, some new adventure that you're going to be taking because things were illuminated with the Sun energy. The Tower came down, this person made a choice, like somebody bailed. And, you did a lot of healing through that and you continue to do so. And you are completely in the flow now, right? And you are headed towards the Ten of Pentacles because the Tower had to come down for you, not Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, excuse me. The Tower had to come down for the Ten of Cups to be a possibility and to be a hope, right? To be a hope and a dream here. The Tower needed to come down to make space for the new, to have a new foundation, a new stronger foundation for you. And with the three majors on your end, up top, yeah. So if this person does come back with Venus, did I say Mercury earlier? With Venus in retrograde, you will then get to decide. And, we make our choices and we get clearer. But with the Queen of Swords on the bottom of the deck here, sorry about the camera, I'm like, but anyway, with the Queen of Swords, I feel like you're going to be very discerning. You're going to be very clear and very discerning when and if it comes time to make that kind of choice. I also feel like your communication is going to be very direct. This woman or this archetype can be seen as very cutting as well. However, she is a queen, and so with the queens are of water, and so this archetype is of water and air. Okay, and so there can be a direct delivery of a message, but it doesn't have to be completely cold and cutting. It can have, softer edges. There can be a softness to the Queen of Swords, but she's very clear. Okay. Yeah. So that's what I see, a healing journey. Something came down. Somebody made a decision. They ended up regretting it. I feel like they're probably gonna, step up and step forward. And then at that point, you'll have a choice to make. And, with the Page of Wands, you very well you very well may already be, you know, enticed by a whole other adventure, some whole other inspiration, some other path. Okay, so let me pick a surrender card for you. Surrender low self-esteem. You deserve success, love, and abundance. That's what this is. You deserve success, love, and abundance. Set an intention to identify and release any remnants of low self-esteem. This is the intention and the wish, right? That's the hope and the dream and the healing. You're good. It hurts when people leave, and this person left not because you were a bad partner, not because you were undesirable. They left because they had an opportunity of some sort of thing on a tangible level, be it a job, some sort of something, could be something new and shiny, whatever it was. They made that choice for them. It was not that you were not good. Okay, you are good. You are good, and this person just may not have been the right fit for you, but there's a possibility here in the cards that they are going to be coming back around. But the thing is that you'll see at that time, and you'll make that decision. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Gemini. Okay, you could be dealing with a Taurus, a Pisces, an Aquarius, a Scorpio, a Leo, not a Sagittarius. Judgment. Is Judgment Scorpio? Oh, I don't remember. I always get Judgment mixed up. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, you could be dealing with any of those signs. Or a Taurus or a Capricorn for the minors. Ace of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so the next we will go on to is Cancer. This is for Cancer. Nice. Okay. This is interesting. And then at the bottom you have the Eight of Swords. Okay. Okay, Cancer. So, this is interesting. You have the Devil, Page of Pentacles, Judgment, Two of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. So the way I see this is that you are making a life-changing decision between two things. One that is going to be nurturing your self-care and your abundance and, just like your growth and just all the things that are just like so sturdy and grounded inside of you as a person. Or you have a choice between that and something else that's more of a undoing. Something that's, perhaps very tempting and like delicious and fun and something very pleasurable, but in the finish just kind of keeps you in the page energy, just like keeps you small, So I feel like that's the decision that you have to make between two things. And I feel like that I don't know what those two things are, but it's like one option is, like I had said, with the Devil energy. But then the other is so much more fulfilling, like the other decision. And so I feel like these two things, it really is one or the other. I mean, it feels to me like this, tempting. Perhaps you're addicted to whatever this thing is. It can be something that's just like I described, something that's fun, something that's pleasurable, decadent, but in the finish, like, leaves you feeling small, right? And so I feel like with the juggling of these two things, that's the thing that you need to drop in order to really step into this self-care energy and to be grounded with yourself, right? Nurture yourself. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles and the Devil, I mean, they couldn't be, I mean, they're just quite opposite. I feel like dropping that, whatever it is an act of self-care. And not just choosing yourself, but choosing health, right? Choosing health. So on your person's side, there's this Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is right beneath the Devil. So there's like a lot of there's a lot of ego there. So I feel like this is a person. This could be a relationship that's just like so hot, right? It's just so hot, and this person's just like, they keep coming back. But that's the thing. It's like this, you could be locked into some weird toxic dynamic with this person. Okay. So then we have the King of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and then the Ten of Cups. Okay. So I feel like the judgment call that you're going to make, because that's just it. The Five of Pentacles is underneath the Judgment. Whatever the decision that you make is going to leave somebody feeling out in the cold. All right? And with the Page of Pentacles, I feel like you have, like, there is some sort of new opportunity for you to learn about something, to plant a seed, right? Like you're wanting to grow something. Now, this is an initiation. And then this is like being at the top of your game in that, whatever it is, okay? And I feel like when you plant that new seed, like this could also be like a business owner, right? You could be thinking about, like, do I stick with this person, or do I start a new business? Or do I, I'm really wanting to start this new business. Can I get my business off the ground if I have, this sexy dude or whoever this is continuing to distract me from what I need to do? And then with the Page of Pentacles, with the new start, there's also the King of Pentacles underneath, right? So it's like you have the King of Pentacles here and the Queen here. That's financial stability and partnership, commitment. So this very well could be a judgment call on your part between an endeavor and somebody or something that is, leads to your undoing, that's like not good for you. Or it could be between two people, right? And they could definitely be like one and the same. Because with the underneath the Two of Pentacles, you have the King of Wands. Juggling the thing and this really sexy archetype. So irresistible, like really very much leader energy, very sexy, like really just a go-getter, very passionate. So it's like choosing between passion and stability, passion and lust and self-care, passion, lust, and all of that fun, delicious stuff. And it's kind of a bummer. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, why can't you have both? Why can't you have both? But it's like, you can't have both because the devil's here, It's like one of them is going to be a distraction from where you're going, from what you're planting your seed and what you really want to do and what you really want for yourself. Your happily ever after, your wish fulfillment. So I get the feeling that this is between two people. Somebody who's like super hot and somebody who's really, but non-committal and all that. And then somebody who's really stable. And with this judgment, someone is going to be feeling out in the cold here. And given that the devil is on top of the Six of Wands, I mean, this could also be some sort of toxic attention. Okay? Either, like this person wants your attention. And maybe that's really all that they're, like, their investment is only insofar as how much attention they're going to get. Right? So it's like somebody who's like just like kind of like you could be their supply, right? Like you make them feel good, Cancer. Because I mean, look at you. Like you're so loving and caring and kind and empathic and all of that stuff. It's like, of course people want to be around you. But the hard part about that is sometimes folks can take advantage of that. They really love being around, like they feel mothered, they feel cared for, they feel nurtured. And then it's like, then you come to find that it's like all take, like you could be feeling depleted. Hence the invitation with the Queen of Pentacles to take care of yourself. I feel like once you begin to like really put yourself front and center instead of this person, whoever this is, that's the key. That's the invitation. I feel like boundaries are in order here. I feel like with the Two of Pentacles, you've been trying to figure out a way to balance out being able to enjoy this person or this thing, and take care of yourself and invest in what you're wanting to grow. for yourself, like your next tangible move, right? Yep, that's exactly what I said. The invitation is for you to focus on yourself. And I feel like when you begin to focus on yourself, you then get into the flow. We have the Empress over the Devil and the Six of Wands. And that's also something I mentioned too, that this person gets a lot in it. It takes a lot of your energy because you nurture them. Like you are in this energy, right? Like this beautiful, motherly, nurturing, creative, beautiful, like she's the Venus, you know? And this person, or whatever this is really just, I feel like they're just there in order to get that magic from you, you know? And that's not to say that they don't like totally find you like complete, like they could probably be addicted to you, you know? Perhaps they're obsessed with you. That's something that's here as well, you know, with the Devil energy. I mean, and who wouldn't be obsessed with the Venus, you know? Like, she's the Venus, she's the Empress, like, but that's the thing. When you begin to focus so much more on yourself, you step so much more into that Venus energy, into the, you know, because the Empress doesn't chase, she attracts and she manifests, okay? And so when you focus on yourself, that is the energy you're stepping into, okay? Focusing on your creativity, focusing on what you want to, you know, bring up and out and birth into this life, into this time, right? Like you're planting a seed with the Page of Pentacles here. It's like there's a beginning. There's a beginning energy. And with that page and the king, you know, there's the King of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, which I feel like the seed that you're planting is going to lead you to abundance, mad abundance, and deep financial stability. Like full on, you know, like full on. You have the Queen and the King of Pentacles here. And that is going to give you the Sun. All the stability and perhaps even a commitment. But whatever it is, like it could be you committing to this new thing. Like you're fully stepping into your creativity and also going towards the Sun energy here. Like that's the best card in the deck. So then with the Judgment and the Five of Pentacles, we have the Knight of Wands. Very libidinal energy. And that's what I was saying before. Like, I really get the sense that, like, this devil and the stuff is, like, a full-on, like, super hot, delicious, you know, friend that you have, right? Like, this person is just so freaking amazing and addicting and all the things, but are they good for you? They're like, oh, I don't know. I mean, they feel pretty damn good, but I don't know. Like, it looks to me like that could be what's happening here. You know, a choice between, you know, this hot liaison and your own stability. Okay, so then with the Two of Pentacles, you know, kind of going back and forth. Excuse me. Over this King of Wands. It's like King of Wands and Knight of Wands. I think, okay, let me back up just a sec. With the Judgment over the Five of Pentacles, I feel like, and the Knight of Wands, it's like you're deciding between like the fiery libidinal energy and like the stable earthy energy, like self-care, love, personal stability, long-term, all that, right? And if you were to drop that, I think that your person, your Knight of Wands, would really feel out in the cold, all right? But I also feel like the more that you focus on yourself and step into the Empress energy, and maybe even away from this juggling business, like really shifting your perspective on the whole thing. Like, it's not like, oh, you have to decide whether or not you have what you need in your life and have like hot sex, right? And a passionate, fun relationship. You can have both of those things. But I think that in that context, if you keep your focus and your own libidinal energy on the things that are about you and about what you're wanting to grow, then this Knight of Wands can evolve into the King of Wands. Okay? Like, perhaps that is going to be what really helps this. I mean, if they step up, they step up, right? But like, I feel like the more you focus on yourself, the more space you give this person to step into their King of Wands energy, right? And to level up, to step up. And there can be confusion here, on how to do that, what to choose, la-di-da. Like, there could just be like a lot of smoke and mirrors, when it comes to this two. That's why I'm saying, like, Two of Pentacles, oh my God, like, it's kind of annoying, like, in my opinion. It's like kind of like juggling two things, thinking it really in black and white terms. And then, when the more that we are in this black and white kind of thinking, like it's either this or it's that, or it's this or it's that, then we can really get confused and think that we have to do something. Like, what do we got to do? We have to make a decision, da 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 da. When all you have to do is like focus on yourself and step into your creativity and step into your focus. Like, you don't need to be chasing anything. You just do you, right? And take care of yourself. Okay, and so then with this, at the finish, it's like, yeah, Queen of Pentacles. It's like, yeah, man, this page, this planting of the seed, right, is going to lead you to so much success and so much stability, okay? With the planting of the seed and fully stepping into your Empress energy, there will be a time where you're kind of like waiting a bit, but this is also a gateway, okay? This is a gateway. This is an integration card and a gateway card, a transition card. Going from the 2 to the 3, like stepping through it, stepping through the gate. And when you focus on yourself and step through the gate, then you can have your 10 of Pentacles or your 10 of Cups, right? You're integrating. You're integrating. You're not juggling. You're integrating. You can do both, but only insofar as you see where the health of it lies, okay? Because if you are super focused on this 6 of Wands devil hottie that keeps coming around, if your focus is all on that person, you're going to miss this invitation. So the invitation is for you to focus on yourself here. And you can have both, but you might end up being in a position where you actually do have to choose. And when you do make that judgment call, that, yeah, you might have to drop this liaison, whatever it is. Okay? The bottom of the deck energy, we have the 7 of Swords and the Page of Cups. Yeah, I mean, you could be deceiving yourself about the fact that this person if they are really kind of when they're in their devil energy and coming around and just wanting your like motherly love and all of that, that it's like, yeah, man, they're just kind of, they're not fully, it's only a small gesture, small gestures, and getting away with something. I can't really get this camera proper, but anyways, you get the drift, you get the idea. And that's the thing, I don't think they know how to step up, because look, you got the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Swords underneath that. Yeah, I don't know. I think you're dealing with somebody who's completely not in your league, dude. I don't think they're in your league. But can they step up? Can they get into your league? Can they elevate from the Knight of Wands to the King of Wands? Do they have what it takes? That's up to them. That's their work to do, right? You got to focus on you. This is fun. This is hot and all that, but I say, you know, have fun when you can have fun. It's like work hard, play hard, right? But don't overly focus on this person. They need to step up if they're gonna be in your sphere, they gotta step up. And with that King of Wands, you know, maybe they're the ones feeling the confusion about how to step up into the King of Wands energy, right? That Seven of Cups there. Okay, surrender to success. What were we talking about, dude? That's what this whole thing is about. Yes. Surrender to success. You are ready to experience abundance. Don't look back at previous roadblocks or difficulties. Leap into an exciting new world of possibilities. Yes. Fabulous. Okay, that's what I have for you, Cancer. Let's move on to Leo. You know what's going to be pretty exciting about this whole video is that there's chapters, and then everybody can just skip right to the chapter part. You know, just listen to their own read. And even skip over the long extended shufflings. And even parts like this, more of in-between musings on the process. Come on, man. Get in there. Okay. All right, so Leo. What do we have for Leo? Oops. wild. You saw how much I shuffled the deck, okay? And the Judgment. Oh, well, no. I feel like the Judgment has come out in every read so far. I think it came out in all the reads except for the Taurus. The Judgment. Yeah. Okay. Okay, bottom of the deck energy, Leo. We have the Hermit. And then the Six of Swords. And the Devil. So it looks like you're doing a lot of healing right now and you're moving away from some toxic shit. That's good. That's really good. And I get the sense that with the Hermit here, it's toxic, whatever is holding you back in your life, whatever you know that has not been good for you, okay? And I think that that's remarkable because you have the High Priestess, Seven of Cups, Judgment, Queen of Wands, and Eight of Cups, okay? Whenever we see the High Priestess, that is an invitation to do the work, to do your soul work, plumbing the depths of your psyche and your emotions. And that process can feel very confusing. This is also the card of going into the underworld, all right? There's a lot of confusion. You don't know what to do. And with the Judgment after that, it's like this process, even from the Hermit to the High Priestess to the Seven of Cups, it's like you're coming to a decision could be about a Queen of Wands or a decision about yourself, because this is Leo energy. This is fire energy, right? A decision about yourself to walk away from something. And what did we have in the bottom of the deck? The Six of Swords is also departure energy. Underneath that, we had the Devil. We had some sort of toxic thing. And the feeling that I'm getting is not really about it could be about a person, but I get the feeling that it's like an inner dynamic, some sort of dynamic, some sort of personal thing, something that has held you back in your own life, okay? So the energy that's attached to you, your person, we have the Two of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and the Hierophant. Okay. So this person has been of two minds about something, has been very ambivalent. Okay, ambivalence. Not really doing it, not really recognizing, not seeing the situation, knowing what it is, but being like, I'm not going to do anything about it. Okay, and then there's this slow moving energy. Slow moving energy. And then with the King of Wands, I'm not too sure what that's trying to tell us, but it's beneath the Judgment. So I feel like it's going to take King of Wands energy, even though it's on this person's side. I feel like it's going to take that King of Wands energy in order to really take the lead in this decision, in this judgment call. Okay? And we have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. What just came to me just now is that there has been ambivalence and slow-moving energy for this person to really step into their King of Wands energy to be your counterpart. And with that ambivalence and this I'm coming. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it. It's like that has caused so much confusion for you. And it could have even been a confusing process for them as well, given their ambivalence. You know, when we feel really ambivalent about something, we don't move very fast towards a decision. I mean, this is stalemate energy, right? So you could have been feeling really confused because you have been experiencing them as like, okay, yeah, they're here. So, I mean, clearly they can't be that ambivalent. They're here, aren't they? But the lack of fully stepping into that King of Wands to fully be your counterpart has led to this Ten of Swords. There's an ending here. You know, we have an ending, and then we also have walking away. You know, and this is something that it's like the walking away. So this person has the Hierophant on their side, on their portion. So I feel like, you know, maybe it's going to take this ending for them to also have like a come to Jesus meeting with their own self as well, you know? Because the Hierophant is the figure of which the voice of God speaks through. Okay, God, whatever form that takes for you, spirit, right? So this can also be like, in a very practical sense, this can represent like a clergy or a counselor or a mentor, some sort of person or being that has like the guidance, like the word, you know? And with the Eight of Cups on top, in your energy, it's like you're walking away from this idea that there is commitment here. Because this person has not stepped up for a commitment. You know, that you've done a lot of soul searching here. And take it as it resonates. These energies could be reversed. I'm going to take these off the bottom here. Okay. I mean, and when you read these together, there could have also been ambivalence on their side of doing their own work as well. Confusion about how to move forward. Yeah, I feel like you're ending this, like you're and the thing is with the Ten of Swords, it's death by 1,000 cuts. You know, you're not waiting for this person anymore. What is your intuition telling you with regard to the judgment, with regard to the choice that you need to make? It's telling you to walk away. It's also telling you to move away from anything that has been keeping you small, has been keeping you bound and chained, you know. Okay, so for the High Priestess and the Two of Swords, we have the Fool. So a new beginning. Yeah, it's like, okay, you're going to be in stalemate energy. I got to go. I got to start a new cycle. Like, I'm not going to, I got shit to do, you know? My intuition is telling me that I need a new. Okay. And then with the Knight of Pentacles, there's the Seven of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. The Empress is overlaying that. So it's like the energy, it's like this person was ambivalent about really stepping up, yet there's been something about that that's like slowly moving in that direction. You know, but it's like, you're the Empress. You don't chase, right? So this person has been, you know, trying to keep up with you and following you, right? But not keeping, well, they haven't been keeping up with you. They've been following you, but they're like 2 football fields behind you, right? There could be also issues with the mother figure here. Maybe a part of the underworld journey is about confronting the issues with regard to the maternal figure in your life or them in theirs. And so with the Judgment over the King of Wands, we have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's like, this could be a karmic lesson for either one or both of you. But there is a judgment call to be made here. The wheel needs to keep on turning. You know, like, we make our choices and we get clearer. That's my, I like to say that when it comes to the Wheel of Fortune. We make our judgments, we make our choices, and we get clearer. What is it about our karma that we're playing out here? You know, what lesson do we have to learn? What is a part of our fate? What is our destiny? You know? And do we just surrender to the wheel of life, you know, running over us? Or do we, you know, actively ride that wheel and make choices in our lives to keep the wheel turning? Yep, and that's just it. So we have the Six of Pentacles over the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Wands. Nobody breadcrumbs the Queen of Wands, okay? Nobody breadcrumbs the Empress. Nobody. And so that is what the final sword was that fell. You're not getting enough here. You're not getting enough here, Leo. And walking away from this idea of commitment, we have the Knight of Wands, here for a good time, not a long time. However, this is also libidinal energy. Where are you going with your libidinal energy? What's next? Because this person did not step up. This person did not step up. You gave them a lot of time, and it took a lot for you to make this decision to walk away. But you know that this is that this wasn't good for you, that this was keeping you bound. And I'm going to cover these little dudes. This was keeping you bound. It was keeping you small. It was keeping you tethered, tied down, waiting. for this Knight of Pentacles to step up. And then at the bottom of the deck here, we have the Queen of Swords. She gets clear and she cuts out any bullshit, right? That's not giving enough. Like this is somebody who's like giving alms to the poor, right? Just kind of like passing out, like, here you go, a little bit here, a little bit there. I'm trying to give to everybody, la-di-da, you know? And you're done dealing with this guarded energy. This person being in stalemate energy, it's because they're guarded. They didn't fully step up and to be your King of Wands, you know? They didn't fully step up. So yeah, your intuition is on point with this one, Leo. You've done a lot of soul searching and you realize that it's time to let go. It's time to walk away. You need not be tethered anymore to this person who couldn't make a decision about whether or not they were going to step up and be with you. And while they're trying to figure that out in their slow-moving Knight of Pentacles energy, that they thought they could just keep you around with whatever little breadcrumbs that they were giving you. You know, and maybe the sex was really good, right? But it's just kind of like, you know, you wanted more. You wanted more. And so your intuition is telling you to start anew. That's the invitation. Surrender to what is. This is what this is. It's not going to become the thing that you've been wanting it to become. And I'm sorry for the shaking of the camera every time I move. Okay, surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. They are who they are. They are who they are. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Leo. Okay, moving on to Virgo. Sorry that this takes so long, but this is just my process. You can skip through this stuff. Okay, Virgo. Dang. This is gonna be a rough one, okay? If ever you find that there's a reading that is like too hard or heavy and you're beginning to feel really upset, just turn it off or whatever, okay? So you have the Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so Virgo, on your side we have Three of Swords, the Moon, the Devil, Death, and the Seven of Swords. Okay, so this looks like, to me, it could be good. Hang on. That you are realizing, you are coming to realize that there are some things in your life that are not healthy for you and that they need to end, right? It needs to be done. And there is it's very hard to make those changes, whatever they may be, okay? And there could be some aspects of this that are still not fully known to you, okay? There could be a lot of fears about this and what it is, where it comes from. But with the Death here, it's like, I feel like that something needs to come to a final end here, and that this devil energy, whatever kind of thing that has been keeping you tied and bound, is not working for you anymore. There was a time in your life where you thought that it could work out, that you could still keep this toxic piece, whatever it was, in there and still like get away with it, or like still keep up appearances or something like that. But you're coming to the realization that it's just too painful. It needs to go. So this is actually really good. This is some intense energies and big energies, but that once you let these things go, you don't have to deceive yourself or anybody else anymore. That you could fully step into your power. Okay. Now on your person's side, there is a Five of Wands, Four of Swords, King of Wands, Queen of Swords, and the High Priestess. So, it looks like it's just been like this, a lot of conflict about like what to do. They could have been having a lot of inner conflict about all kinds of different decisions, different choices they could make, different actions they could take. They very well could have been trying to consult other people on what to do, and maybe been arguing with them about it as well. But ultimately it's like they they would have these periods of like taking a time out and taking a rest and like basically like breaking away from you. And then sometimes they would come in very passionate and present and like vivacious and feel really like you would get a lot of their attention, you know, and that was the part that was just like so awesome. And then there would be these other times when they would be kind of like cold or distant or just very logical and not in their passion but also not in their feelings, you know. And very like you'd probably felt like they're being secretive with you, you know. There could have been that as well playing out in this person's energy. You know, we have somewhat of a conflicted energy here with this person about whether or not they want to. It's kind of like hot and cold, fire and air. But yet, you know, fire needs air in order to keep on. But, you know, with the Four of Swords here, it's like that's a pulling away, that's a distancing, that's a break. So it's like there's conflict and passion and then pulling away. I get the sense that this person also knows that they have their own work to do as well, because the High Priestess is here, followed by the Queen of Swords, so there's like a real knowledge there. There's like knowledge and intuition working together. And I think that that's a large part of what they meditate on when they take a break and they go inward with their Four of Swords. And because they do experience conflict within themselves about what to do. And what to think. But then there are times when they're fully like, you know, listening to their intuition. I can't quite see what this person wants to do, but I know that for you, this is painful. And, you know, they leave you in the dark whenever they go into their hermit mode, not hermit mode, but into their Four of Swords energy. It really just kind of leaves you in the dark. And, you know, in those times when they're conflicted on the inside, I feel like they take it out on you on some level, and that really hurts you, really hurts your feelings. But the parts of them that are just like so fiery and vivacious are really hard to let go, because it just is like they're so much fun and they're so passionate and beautiful and it's delicious and lustful and all the things, where you can really feel like you're addicted to this version of them, you know? But it's like I feel like there's a part of you that knows that this has to come to an end, because, you know, you're both just kind of you're both deceiving yourselves, thinking that there's any kind of consistency to this. And I feel like you're deceiving yourself with regard to, you know, kind of, I don't know, there's some sort of self-deception on your part. No judgment, you know, but some sort of self-deception on your part in maybe believing or thinking that this King of Wands is like consistent, you know. There's inconsistent energies here because you have two conflicting energies. It's like a cycle. It's like a cycle. Yeah. It's like a cycle of abuse. There's conflict, then there's a cooling off period, then there's like a honeymoon period, and then tension begins to build again. and there's a knowledge in between the building of the tension and the conflict. There is a knowing, there is a deep inner knowing that the conflict is on its way. And I think that part of the deception is thinking that, oh, well, maybe it won't happen again this time. Okay. The connecting energies definitely look a lot more hopeful. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hermit. So a lot of self-reflection, but inner knowing, right? Like, inner knowing that there is mad conflict here, and that this is also, this cycle is sabotaging. It sabotages any kind of good stuff that starts to kind of come around, you know. And then it takes a lot of strength to like tame that. Like, you know, when I was just saying that there is a pause between the building of the tension and then the release with the conflict that comes back around. It's like there's that inner knowing about this process and this conflict coming up on the horizon. And it can be, you know, it can be really hard to like hold that back. There has to be a taming. This is an invitation. There needs to be a taming of that impulse to have conflict, right? For your person to take out their tension out on you, okay? It takes a lot of strength to widen that gap with the knowledge that the tension is building. What can be done instead of having then there be conflict? What does one need to do? They need to go kind of take a break. The break actually needs to come before the Six of Wands, or the Five of Wands rather. And it can also take a lot of strength to walk away from being in your head about this, because this feels like a prison. It feels like you're trapped. But the truth is that you're not. You can shake these binds loose and walk right out of here. And you know that that'll bring the tower down. But the tower needs to happen so that you can have happiness and start something new. I could keep going, right? Ultimately, you know that this is going to take strength to walk away, because it's a bunch of fucking bullshit that just keeps happening. Okay, now let's look. So between the conflict and the heartache, we have the two of Wands. So it's like, okay, yeah, which decision do you make? Do you widen the gap, or do you just move forward with the conflict? This is a choice. It's definitely, it's an impulse, but if you widen the gap, then it becomes a choice. You take it out of reaction mode and put it into response mode. Okay? Reaction and response are two very different things. One is an impulse, a lack of impulse control, and the other is a choice, a decision to do it differently. And that's where the work lies. And that's what this High Priestess is inviting your person or you together to do. Okay? Now, between the Moon and the Four of Swords, we have the Magician. So when this energy is engaged in, okay, I really do believe that when your person engages in this like withdrawal energy, that they are trying to manifest, they're trying to figure out a new way to do this thing, because I imagine there's the Five of Wands experience, and then they feel really bad about it. Or there's some sort of shame, there's some sort of something that makes them go inward. And, you know, it's kind of like evaluating, like, well, what do I have to work with here to do it differently? How do I then step into my King of Wands energy and stay there, right? I mean, is it really the King of Wands energy that I need to step into? Or is it some other kind of energy? Because here with the Devil and the King of Wands, we have the King of Pentacles. So much more of a steady, grounded energy, right? So that is the invitation as well. Like that's an energy that needs to be stepped into as well in order to really step out of this pattern. There needs to be a widening of the gap to reduce the reactivity and increase the response. Go from impulsive action to responsive decision making, to resist the passionate reactivity and step into the emotional and physical maturity of the earth energy, getting grounded, finding ground in widening that gap between reactivity and between stimuli and reactivity, and making sure it's a response, okay? And this requires self-care. Self-care is typically, the archetype of the self-care is typically the Queen of Pentacles. But with the King of Pentacles here, I feel like it can be the same. Like that's what's needed. A conscious effort, a grounded, tangible effort. So this can also be an invitation to utilize and grow any kind of tools, personal, tangible, or otherwise, to cool this devil energy off, cool it down, cool it off, okay? And that may be able to happen or may not. I don't know. I mean, this could have been, something that's been going and going, right? But like we have the Death and the Queen of Swords. So there's a knowledge here that something has to really come to an end for a new cycle to begin, a new path to be taken, okay? And, with the High Priestess and the Seven of Swords here, we also have the Seven of Pentacles. So it's like this would have to take continued investment and no bullshit. Don't deny, is it working? Is this investment paying off? Don't deny the reality of what is, right? What does your intuition tell you? Not your hope or, the illusion or, whatever. It's like, is this bearing fruit or are we dying on the vine? Yeah. It's like, I see I mean, there definitely could be a walking away, but I feel like that with the energies that came out on top, that it could be workable. It would take a lot of strength to work this. It really would. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And it's also not only up to you, Virgo. It's not, I feel like your person has a lot of work to do. your person needs to make the conscious effort to really widen that gap between reactivity and response, to really tame that impulse to, to start fighting and becoming combative about some shit. Whatever that is. And you very well, I feel as though you have come to the realization that you have been fooling yourself, thinking that this was going to change for the better, but I feel like you've seen enough to know that you're losing hope in that area, and you're like, well, I'm kind of in this spot now where it's like, if I stay hopeful, then I'm beginning to feel like an idiot. It's kind of gone out of the realm of hope into the realm of like self-deception and illusion or something, and that sucks. That's a funky place to be, but it is also a good place to be, because you actually have that awareness between the two. That means that you're coming to your limit. You've come to your limit with believing in that this can change or that it can get better. Surrender. Oh, dumb. Surrender negative thinking. You have control over your thoughts. When negative thoughts surface, say, "Thank you for sharing," and quickly refocus on positive affirmations. So I think that that's really helpful. I really do. Because you could have all kinds of negative thinking even about yourself. Like, oh, if I was like this or like that, then they would be like this and like that. And it's like, no. They bring what they bring because that's what they got. Okay? Okay? So remember that. Everyone is responsible for their own behavior and their own actions and their own feelings and the expression of those feelings. Okay? And thoughts. Okay. Now we're going to move on. What comes after Virgo? Libra? Libra. You know what's crazy? Is that there's another like condo complex down the hill back there. And there's every time at the same night, there's a neighbor with a baby, and they cry every night at the same time. And I'm just like, dang. And like the thing is, like, I feel, because I'm a mom, I have two kids, and like when I hear that baby crying, like I want to go and like pick it up and soothe it, because I wonder if they're like doing some cry it out thing, which to each their own, but it's like, dude, if your baby's crying, like you gotta like tend, that's their language. That's the only language they got, You gotta pick them up and soothe them and give them what they need. I wonder if you can hear it, or it. I wonder if you could hear them. It's kind of trippy how a lot of the readings have been so similar this evening. Okay. Libra. I'm going to try to... How many do I have left? Am I halfway through? Okay. Okay, so Libra, you have the Wheel of Fortune, Seven of Swords, Ten of Wands, the Moon, and the Hierophant. In the bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Wands. So brand new inspiration, new opportunities, some, fast moving opportunity at that, okay? So, Libra, there's been something you have really not been honest with yourself about, and you have been trying hard not to see that something has been really, really hard, okay? But you're continuing to try, and you're really carrying the load. I mean, it's like one of these situations where you're doing a bunch, and you're like, it's okay, I can do it, But, and the thing is that with the moon here, it's like, I feel like it's like you're choosing not to see it. I mean, it could be some sort of, there's something, okay, listen, I'll back that up a little bit. This is a karmic lesson for you because there is something to be learned, because this process, you are playing out an unconscious pattern by doing too much and telling yourself that you can do it and that it's okay. And I think that it's important for you to really listen to your inner guidance, and you could even, this could even be an invitation for you to go and get some therapy or some counseling around where this comes from and why this is, because this is a karmic lesson. Why do you overfunction and tell yourself that it's okay? You're overfunctioning here. And I feel like, despite your best efforts, that you could also be in denial about the conflict that you're having with your person, and how this conflict is also repetitive. And I get the sense that your person just is kind of la-di-da, and they don't, it's like they can see how hard things are for you. And since you have a particular pattern in bearing the load, they're going to pretend like they don't see you bearing the load, because they benefit from it. Because if you bear the load, then they don't have to, and then, and your person, it's like you definitely have a very deep soul bond with them. You love them and they love you, I mean, at the core, and you have a lot of memories with them. It's like you guys are very much, have a long history with each other, but I feel like they kind of rely on that and get some sort of sense of emotional stability or emotional maturity from that knowledge that like you guys are like a unit, you know, where it's like they know that they should step up and help you, but it's like they don't want to. They just want to kind of do their own thing, you know? You know, and maybe they do show up for you in other ways. Maybe they show up for you, you know, when you're finally breaking down and weeping with exhaustion, and they're like, I can be the shoulder that you can cry on. Okay, thank you. And when I'm fucking doing all this, you need to step up and help me. Right? Yeah, that's what that says. Okay? And I feel like a positive thing, I do feel like this person does have what it takes to do emotional work. Perhaps there's a part of them that you do rely on to give you guidance as well. Like there's something about them where they're like their strength lies in being emotionally available and being able to like distill the situation and then like give you words of advice and words of wisdom. But I feel that what you're not saying, what you're not showing to your person is that you need their help in a physical sense. Like you need them to physically help you, like tangibly do something, because this is too hard for you, right? And like I feel like you are denying the fact that they do need to help you and that you would benefit, because clearly there's a subconscious pattern here on your part that says, oh, well, I can do it, you know, like you've always done probably. And, and so there's self-deception in that. Be like, oh, I can do it. You can go play and you can go have adventures and I'll do all the stuff. Okay. And I'll do all the stuff and I'll tell myself that that's okay. And I'll also tell you that that's okay. So then you feel like you got the green light and all the like, you know, go on ahead and do whatever it is that you want to do. Pursue your dreams while I continue to like bear the load. And so there's this unconscious issue and karmic lesson that you need to learn about being able to ask for help, okay? And also, what do you get out of bearing the load? Because the thing that is our own burden, like our own cross to bear, as they say, there's a secondary gain. Whatever it is that we come to find that we complain about or like have a real like issue about, even though we're withholding that, we're lying about it through omission, like we're not acknowledging it out loud to the person that we need to, or the persons that we need to the most, there is a secondary gain. It's like, do you get some benefit? What benefit do you get out of keeping that to yourself? From suffering in silence and bearing the load, you know? Perhaps this is an issue that you both are aware of, and that's what you continue to then end up fighting about. Perhaps this tension then comes to a head, and then there's some sort of problem. Because, you know, that could be a part of it too, right? Yeah, you want help with all the wands, with doing all the things, but the reason that you do it all yourself is so that you don't have to have this conflict about how something should get done. You know what I mean? It's kind of like that saying of like, well, if you want it done right, you got to do it yourself. Yeah. So I think with the Ace of Wands here is that this is an opportunity and an invitation to initiate a new way of doing something. And also, this is an invitation to not just have a new way of doing something with incorporating your person, but also this is a choice, right? This would be a choice in, you know, what's a new part of your identity. Like this has been a part of your identity for a good long time, right? And you might even take pride in that. However, it's not sustainable. That's what I'm seeing. It's not sustainable. And so this is an invitation to start anew. What new actions do I want to take? What new patterns do I want to incorporate so that I can kind of start over? So I could incorporate doing things differently on a consistent basis that is more fair to me and is more fair to my partner, and allowing them to help me and allowing them space and the opportunity to step up into that helpful leadership role when it comes to helping you with all of these things. Okay. Yeah, I get like a long-term partnership, marriage here. See, because that's your thing, Libra. You're about being fair and balanced, okay? So that even applies to you. You don't just are like the fair and balanced person making everything nice and good and copacetic for everybody else. You need that as well for yourself. Okay? And don't lie to yourself about that. All right, now listen. Between the Wheel of Fortune and the Five of Wands, we have the Ace of Swords. So yeah, this is the truth. There's truth to the matter that this conflict continues to happen. There's also truth to the matter that, you know, you can find yourself in a space of like, well, I'm going to do it myself because I don't want to have to deal with the conflict that arises in trying to get other people to help. Right? And plus, I like it the way I like it. I need to do it myself. The wish here, I think you might have a wish here for this person, for your person to just know. You know, maybe there's a part of you that's like, well, I'm saying this. I'm saying, yeah, go on ahead and go do the thing. But, you know, I really wish you would just know and understand and see that, you know, I need you to help me. You know, like there's a want for healing in this dynamic. There's a want for healing here, right? But you need to be honest. Don't give anybody the green light to go, you know, frolicking when you need them to help you with the laundry or the bills or the tangibles or whatever it is. And I think that you can speak to this very clearly but still compassionately, right? That you have to cut out some of these things. And in order for you to be able to cut out some of these burdens, you need your partner to help you. You can't be the one in charge all the time. And you're just like, I'm tired. Okay? You know, what we have to clarify the moon over the Six of Cups is that there is a lot of love here between you guys. Okay? And this is also an invitation to recognize where you need to be loving and kind to yourself and loving and kind to your partner in ways that I just mentioned, by really shining a light on this dynamic. Like, this dynamic can play out in the shadows and be just kind of this unconscious repetitive pattern or dynamic between you guys, right? And I think that it's going to take a lot of love and compassion to really just bring it out into the open, to talk about it together. You know, you got the Queen of Swords right next to the Queen of Cups. So it takes communication, and it takes loving communication to really just look at this together and be like, this is the pattern we're in, and it's a lot for me to do on my own. So I feel like with that kind of work between you guys, that you can both, move away from choppy waters into smoother waters. You can. In this commitment, if you use a lot of your emotional maturity, because we have a Queen of Cups and a King of Cups, you two together can move and navigate these waters to find peace and tranquility and clear, wash away the stuff, wash away the drama. If there's been some drama about balancing of the tasks, So this is good. This is important. Yeah, I think this is good. And you can have a conversation even with the help of a trusted advisor, together through this emotionally mature work that you'll do. You get to both move into calmer waters together. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick your surrender card, Libra. Surrender comparisons with other people. That could be a part of the thing that's in the moon. Maybe you're comparing yourself to other people. Well, I just got to keep up. Just got to do all the things to keep up and show that I got it all under control. Okay, keep your eyes trained on yourself. Focus on your own strengths, attractiveness, and power. Okay? Okay, I'm going to take a little break. I have to use the restroom and get a snack. Okay, I'm going to pause this for a sec.